So trying to maintain those airfields, well, a story that mean more, I think Tommy's heard it, but my boss told me, he said, if you need any help, call this number over at the CB camp, which is China Beach or something like that. Huge, huge CB base west of Da Nang, I think. Well, anyway, I got to the point where I really needed help. God, I was all by myself. My Jeep had already been stolen. The one I was supposed to have before I got there, it was already stolen or something. So I had to rely on Army guys hauling me around in Hueys. Some of these guys, I swear, weren't even out of high school. You sit right behind them and take it off, and their helmets were. God, they take off. I think, God, we're going to hit the trees. You know, just barely clear the trees. You know, I'd go down there, I'd put in an order the day before. I got to go up and look at Ben Hall or something. You know, and these young kids, they were all warrant officer types, you know. The Army pushed these guys through. But anyway, so I call this number over at the CB camp. And this guy answers the phone. He says, Commander Alexander, can I help you? Well, that's the other side of our family, you know.
My grandma's brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Randy and Buddy, you know, he retired as a full captain in the Seabees. So anyway, you know, I got to thinking, that voice sounds familiar. And we start talking. Is this Buddy? Is it Bill? So anyway, if I hadn't had him, I would have. He always gave me a hard time, being an Air Force guy and a pilot, but he felt sorry for me. So he really did a lot of help, and I saw a lot of work the Seabees did. Boy, those guys are something else. They are really, the Army has equipment like this out here, but you ought to see some of the stuff the Seabees have. God, those guys are something else. We met up one time, and he took me out to a site. Of course, he had a real neat Jeep, and Navy does everything, first class. And he had his own Jeep and all that. And we drive out to this thing on the Song Bay or whatever this big river is, and a big bridge that got blown up, and the Seabees were rebuilding this thing. And the problem was the damn VC would float charges down at night and blow the bridge. So anyway, the Seabees had installed this big steel mesh stuff upstream. And Buddy said, well, we need to go out and see how things are going. You know, if the Air Force was doing that, they would have had a full colonel and a major and a whole bunch of, we go out there and there's a chief. There's a Navy chief running the whole damn thing. Boy, those guys are like God. So we go out there and this Navy chief goes out and he salutes Buddy. He salutes him. He doesn't salute me. Buddy was a lieutenant commander at the time, and I was like a full commander. I was a lieutenant colonel at the time. But, boy, he was all, and the chief briefs him on everything, and we look at this thing, you know, an amazing piece of engineering. And they'd taken the 20 millimeter cannon out of an F-100 that crashed and made it operable. And they used that to defend the damn place at night.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome.